Hi everybody, welcome back to Quarantine Cooking with Carolyn. Today I'm going to show you how to make Moo Shu Pork. You know, it is really fun to go out for Chinese food. It really is, especially if you go with your family or with a group of friends and you can kind of taste each other's and whatnot. It's a lot of fun to do. But you know what? It's not hard to make at home either. It does, however, require a little bit of prep time before you actually turn on the wok or the skillet. But it's not bad, and I'm going to show you a few ways to cut down on that prep. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is in a small bowl, we are going to add 1/3 cup of hoisin sauce. So this is hoisin sauce, and I've talked about this before. In fact, I've talked about all of these sauces before. This is 2 teaspoons of sesame oil going in here, and that looks like that. And you find all of these in the Asian food aisle, every one of them, okay? Then rice vinegar, same thing. Woo! Got a little crazy with the rice vinegar. And sambal oelek, 1 teaspoon. Again, I've talked about this. And if you can't find this, there's something called chili garlic paste that, as far as I can see, is very similar but has more garlic. So if you were using that, you could probably skip this teaspoon of garlic that I'm putting in. Or not, if you like a lot of garlic like I do. Let me get this out of the way. And then I'm also adding 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger, and that is the frozen ginger that I've also shown you. That's just kind of handy to keep on hand. I really like that. So we're just going to mix that up a little bit, just like that, and we're going to set that aside for a minute. Then in this dish, I have about 1 pound of pork that I have sliced very thinly. This is pork loin that I'm using, and I'm just salting it a little bit. That isn't as much salt as it looks like. This thing is almost empty. I need to refill that. And a little bit of pepper. All right, and set that aside. So far, so good, right? Now, next, you will also need 8 ounces of shitake mushrooms, okay, sliced. You can buy them already sliced if you want to save on the prep time. Now, if you don't like the price of the shiitakes, because they are a little bit more expensive than the buttons, you can use the buttons. These will give you a little bit different flavor, but the end result will be very similar. Now, additionally, you are going to need about a 14-ounce bag of coleslaw mix, the type that has carrot in it. Now, I had about 1/2 head of cabbage in my refrigerator, so I just sliced that up, and then I put some carrots in my mini food prep, and then I think I also had a little bit of purple cabbage as well. This looks like a lot, and I may or may not use it all. It's probably well more than 14 ounces, but it will cook down a lot. So let me set this to the side as well. And we're going to go over to the wok. Now, I've already turned this on, although I am going to turn it up now that we're ready to actually cook. And we're going to turn it on high. And to that, we are going to add our pork. And we're going to cook that for about 3 or 4 minutes until it browns. Now, beforehand, you want to spray your wok with a little bit of cooking spray. And I've already done that. So the pork is cooked, and as you can see, it's got a little bit of color on it, and that's what you want. And I've removed it from the pan, and I'm going to set that aside. And I've already resprayed the wok with a little more cooking spray, and I've added the mushrooms. And the mushrooms are now going to cook for about 4 or 5 minutes more. The mushrooms are done or cooked. And I'm now adding the cabbage mix or the coleslaw mix. And I think that might be enough. We'll see here in a minute. And what you're going to do is you're going to toss all of this and cook this for another 4 minutes or so until it starts to wilt. And then, now that we got that all in there and I've tossed it up, we're going to add our sauce. Okay, set that aside and toss it all up. And like I said, just cook this for about 4 minutes until it wilts. As you can see, the vegetables are almost cooked. They have cooked down quite a bit. And ultimately, I was able to use all of the cabbage in that bowl. Once it cooked down a little bit more, I was able to add that little bit that was still left, which is great, you know, because you can, finish it up, right? Use what you've got. So now I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to show you the vegetables, and then I'm going to add the pork back in, just like that. Toss. And the pork will warm with the hot vegetables. And then just add some scallions for color. And you're done. Moo Shu pork. And it took me, I guess, about 15 minutes on the stove. So not too bad. Give this a try, guys. I know you've got this.